Hello and welcome to Roaming Norway. Today we are going to talk about one of the most beautiful cars in the world, in my opinion. And yeah, I think it looks absolutely amazing. But unfortunately it doesn't sell that well anymore, not in any market at all. And I'm of course talking about the Model S. This is the newest Model S available. It's called the Model S Palladium. And as you can see on the rear, there is no plaid badge. This is the long-range model. What that means is that we have two motors instead of three. We have around 680 horsepower and it's divided equally behind the rear permanent magnet motor and the front permanent magnet motor. It's in this beautiful ultra red colorway, which I think looks great in the light that we have here. And today I'm going to go on a full tour of this car. I'm going to talk about everything about this car, the interior and what's different between this one and the Plaid, because there is an exclusive interior only for the Model S long range that's spec'd on this car. So let's jump in and I usually start behind the car. Let's start at the front today. So I have this key fob that I want to talk about first. This key fob is actually available for all Teslas, but in this case it was included because this is a loaner from Tesla. Of course this car comes with key cards and phone key as standard. It's the first Tesla Model S with a phone key. The Raven model didn't have a phone key, and the Raven model is the one that was before this one. It's the 2019 and 2020 model. This is a 2023 model or 2024, I can't remember, it doesn't matter, it's the same car. Let's open the front trunk by pressing this twice. You can also do it from the screen inside the car or the app, of course. So here we have an emergency kit, which is nice. We have an Shuko charger, which you can plug into a normal outlet. In Europe you get around 3 kilowatts or something using this, because we have 230 volts in our outlets. You Americans get much less than that, unfortunately. We have our Type 2 cable, because in Europe you bring your own cable to like overnight or AC or slow level 2 chargers. Or if you charge at home with a level 2 charger, you will also use this cable or any other Type 2 cable. And the sun disappeared, so it got very cold. Here is the wiper fluid, quite accessible there. I would say that this would be a better location, like the new Model 3 and stuff. Aside from that, not much to talk about. You can see that the frunk is larger than most electric cars, but still not as large as, for example, a F-150 Lightning or anything like that, or a Lucid Air, larger frunk. And the older Model S's also had much larger frunks actually, especially the very old 2014 model rear-wheel drive had an insane frunk here. So this is probably the smallest frunk ever on a Model S, but still quite sizable. Look at this beautiful side profile, a proper full-size sedan. Absolutely beautiful profile on this car. The aero wheels are not the most beautiful ones, but you can always change that around, of course. But it just looks great, absolutely amazing. And this one is on proper Nordic winter tires, which we get here in Norway. Nokia and Hakkapeliitta R5 EV tires, I think. Yup. And those are absolutely amazing, and studless, of course. Studless winter tires are better in most snow scenarios. People think that you need studded tires. You don't necessarily need that. You have the newest cameras. It has the hardware 4 cameras. Some of these cars, the new Palladium cars, came with hardware 3 cameras. So that's something super important to check. And you check that by looking for a red tint in the cameras. These are the new, better cameras. But some early Palladium cars, which means the 2022 facelift basically, that's the same as the Palladium, came with hardware 3 cameras, which are significantly worse and gives you worse performance when using FSD in markets where that is allowed. And of course the value of the car is also decreased. So make sure that you get the hardware for if you're looking for these cars, and you see that by the red tint in the camera. I hope you can see it on camera here. Anyways, let's move on with the exterior. So we will move to the rear here, and we have the charge port. Let's see if we can open the charge port. There we go. For the first time ever, we have CCS on a Tesla Model S in Europe. This was the first Tesla Model S with a CCS port. So that makes charging so much easier, and you don't need the adapter. And the adapter is actually rate limited to around 150 kilowatts. This car charges at 250 kilowatts and has a pretty flat charging curve. Not class leading or anything, but probably the best charging Tesla right here. And with a CCS port, you don't get the limitation of the adapter that we got in Europe. In the US, you got the Raven models, the 2019 and 2020 models. You got much faster charging, but in Europe, you of course had this kind of limited adapter, which kind of sucked. I also want to mention that you have like the blacked out trim here instead of chrome, which looks so much better, this. And it's actually glossy and not matte. A lot of people that black out their old Tesla Model S's choose matte black here. I think the gloss here really finishes the look, and while I don't like glossy hard plastics, I think it works here. I think this one looks very nice as is. So that's also a nice update. And of course I also need to mention that the fog lights are new on this car for the 2022 model as well. You have the fog lights down there and the bumper of course here, and a little bit of a wider stance, I think, same as the Plaid. Little bit of a wider stance in the rear here, I think. This car just looks amazing. It's one of the best looking cars in the world, I think. And I would choose this one maybe, I don't know, blacked out. I think that looks better, but this ultra red color is also pretty nice if the car hadn't been so dirty. And you can see the blackout here as well with the chrome Tesla logo. I think this works very well. I think it looks nice. And yeah. Now for the party trick of the Model S. People think they need SUVs. You don't. You absolutely don't. Look at all this space. It's so much space in this car. It's an insane amount of space, and to be honest, I think you can match the Model Y in terms of space. Yes, the Model Y has a little bit more taller space, perfect for dog cages and stuff that requires height. But this is still a hatch, and it's one of my favorite features with the Model S. And I think a lot of people can replace their SUVs with this car, no problem at all. And yeah, it's a super large car. It's just an insane sedan. When you sit in the driver's seat and you try to touch the passenger door, it's so far because the car is so wide. It's an enormous car in Europe. In the US, it's just a normal full-size sedan, of course, but it's significantly larger and significantly more practical than a Model 3, and a lot of people don't think about that. You, of course, like in all Teslas, you have a sub front, so we can move this one. And you can see here we have some aero covers, but there is a ton of space in the rear sub trunk here, so you can just place a lot of items. Like you can see, these aero covers are inside here, absolutely no issues, and you still gain access to this enormous amount of space on top here. And of course we have a little compartment here. Yep, a little compartment here with a little divider here, so you can have two layers of items here. So maybe a charger or something down there, and you can put this one here. Here is also more storage space inside here, so just plenty of space in this car. I don't have the partial shelf here right now, wouldn't need that anyways, I think. And you can pull down the seats, I think. Yeah, you need to manually pull them down. They will just release, which kind of sucks. But anyways, look at this enormous amount of space here. Just look at this enormous amount of space. And since the car is so long as well, you get so much usable space inside this car. It's very difficult to show on camera, but just insane. It's a super practical sedan, so don't look at this as a sedan. It's a liftback for sure. Of course, electronically operated rear hatch, like you would expect, with a rear camera that will get dirty immediately on this car, and no rear washer either, I think, in this car, which absolutely sucks. And of course, I have to mention that this car has no front camera either. So the new Model Y has more features than this car, because the new Model Y has a front camera with a front washer. But Tesla think that you don't need a washer in the rear, so they engineered this kind of thing around it, which actually helps quite a bit. This is on the hardware 4 cameras in my experience. And but it's still terrible when it's rainy outside, or if the snow is just melting. You get absolutely no visibility in the rear. Luckily, you have these side repeater cameras that will show on the screen when you are backing up, which are often completely fine, even though it's rainy and muddy outside. Let's take a look at the environment for the driver in this case. And this car is optioned with a dark wood package. It has some chrome details under. If you option the dark interior in the Plaid, you will get carbon fiber here instead, I believe. So this is what I was talking about being exclusive to the long range version, and I keep calling it the long range version even though it's just called the Model S, nothing else. It's just the Model S. And you can see 5YJ, which means that it's built in the US at the Fremont factory. Very, very interesting. It of course has the newest infotainment, the tilting screen and the layout changer that you get exclusively in the Model S. You get a gauge cluster, which is quite interesting, so that you can see the kilometers per hour here, and you can see the driver's you can see the navigation. You can also option this car with a yoke. It now comes standard with the steering wheel, because Tesla understood that the yoke doesn't make sense when you don't have steer-by-wire. The car also comes with this beautiful accelerator pedal and this braking pedal, and you can see that it's reflecting a ton in the sun, and this is because these are metal. So you don't need a Plaid to get metal pedals. These are standard on the Model S right now, it seems. So this wood interior actually feels very nice. It feels like proper real wood compared to the Model 3 and Y, which had this old wood interior, which kind of sucked, to be honest. This one feels like real wood. It feels nice, and it extends all the way throughout the car here, and under this one here as well. It extends to the rear seats over there, and it's also in the rear there, even though the door is open. So you get a ton of this trim, this wooden trim, this dark wood trim, and I think it looks kind of great. I'm not sure about the chrome thing here, but it kind of screams Model S. I think the Model S needs some kind of chrome. What do you think? Because the older Model S's all had like a large chrome trim piece here, so I think this one is kind of, yeah, I don't know, it's kind of part of the Model S design in my opinion. You got this fabric material here, which feels very high quality. It's similar to like the Volvo woven materials, or that you can find in the, for example, the EX30 or something. Feels great. This is all soft touched. Very soft touch leather, fake leather, I would say. It's not like just a little bit soft. It's actually proper soft everywhere here, and the door card here is soft, and you got soft materials inside here as well. Even here, soft everywhere. So that's very, very nice. This one down here is a door still that's aluminium, which of course is very good, and you get like the carpet and then soft touch here as well, so the interior is much better than many other cars. But this is an expensive car, so you would expect this to be soft touch, I guess. Now to my favorite thing about the interior in the Model S, dark headliner. also combined with the panoramic glass roof that's standard on all Model S's, you have this beautiful dark headliner. It extends all the way down here. There's a speaker grill thing the entire way there. Everything is soft touch here as well. You have this dark gray, very dark gray, almost black headliner, and it extends like all the way throughout around all the lights. There is no plastic piece here like you see in many cars. It's just beautiful dark Alcantara headliner all the way there, all the way to the rear, and all the way to the trunk actually. Here as well, down all the way, soft touch, then carpet. And you have carpet the entire way around. And I must say that Tesla has finally got their interiors together, because this looks and feels amazing. Carpet, soft touch leather, no hard plastics. This is an expensive car, of course, so you would expect it to be quite good, but this is more than I would expect from Tesla actually, because they have had some problems with their interiors in the past. So here you have the steering wheel. These buttons are so annoying. These are not real buttons, they are kind of like capacitive buttons, and they have a delayed response. When I had my Model 3 with steering wheel buttons and the buttons for the blinkers, they felt great because they were real buttons, real tactile buttons. These are not tactile. I hate these buttons, and I hope they will update this. Scrolling wheel are metal, which is nice. High beams, okay, it's a button. It's almost invisible actually. You have the camera button, and here you can see the hardware 4 cameras that's equipped on this car. There are, of course, you can get the hardware 3 cameras on this car as well if you're unlucky when buying used. Anyways, this looks kind of bad quality, to be honest. But I think there might be something wrong with the rear camera. The side repeaters look great. You have cruise control, you have window washer fluid, and window washers, of course, that you can adjust on the steering wheel here. You don't need to touch the screen. People think you need to touch the screen in a Tesla to adjust the window washer. That's wrong. No Tesla needs touch input for window washers. Just use the scroll wheels. You have the amazing infotainment that Tesla is known for. You have the AMD Ryzen chip, which is the newest chip that they use, and just look at the response. Who can match this response? Let's go to North Cape. North Cape, let's go. That's our test that we always do to measure how long it takes for the car to find our charging stops. And to be honest, this one takes a little bit longer than usual, and I think it has to do with the 4G connection that we have here. But let's give it a little bit of time. There we go. Yeah, you can see here we don't have a routing via the internet, so we did offline routing. So this is offline routing, and it still did it pretty fast. So very impressed. And you can see the charging stops: 6 minutes, 10 minutes, 21 minutes, 36 minutes, 14 minutes, 15 minutes. It seems to be a 15-minute charge car, which means that you stop for 15 minutes. 250 kilowatt, it holds it for quite a while. Not good enough charging for the price right now, because we have major competition from China and from Lucid. But if it weren't for those, this would still be the best charging car ever. It's a good charging Tesla, a bad charging EV, I would say. Anyways, we have acceleration modes: chill, sport, and insane. Insane mode is so fast. It's 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.5 seconds or something. You don't need a plaid. You think you need a plaid, but you don't really need a plaid. The only reason to get a plaid is that it has a similar price to this one. Drag race mode, so you can actually have the cheetah stance on the long range or just the Model S, which is interesting. Actually, I will get this screen over to English for you, because let's see here, that's much easier. Where is English? English. It'll restart, see how fast it is. So you can actually put the car into gear while it's restarting, which is interesting. Some people don't know that's possible. Okay, fast restart, I would say. Pedals and steering. Here we were, steering weight, light, standard, heavy. All of them are light, in my opinion, compared to other Teslas. Auto shift is the ability to automatically shift out, that chooses the gear automatically, which is interesting. We can try that. If I press the brake pedal now, it should go into drive. Yep, now we are in drive. So that's automatic shifting. I don't know why this came up here. Slip start to get unstuck. Trailer mode, suspension. You have this newest suspension. I'm kind of curious how this compares to the Raven suspension. I think this is an awesome suspension because it's quite sporty while actually being comfortable. So yeah, I like the suspension in this car, but I don't have that much. What should I compare it to? I have driven the BMW i7 with amazing suspension. That's much more comfortable than this, but that's a more boaty car. This one is more sporty, and it's not nearly as comfortable as a BMW i7. But yeah, that's my data points. Charging, you can set the charge limit, of course, like all Teslas. You have autopilot and auto steer. Which is great. You have locks, you have key fobs and key cards that you use, but you just use your phone as a key anyways. Lights, nothing here, but you do have front fog lights in this car, interesting to note. Seats, nothing to note here. You have heated and ventilated front seats and then heated seats in the rear, and you can heat the middle seat as well, which is luxurious. Display. You can reduce the blue light, that's always available, and you can tilt this screen if you want. I think a lot of people would prefer it to have it towards the driver or in the center if you have a passenger on the side. I don't know why you would have it to the right. Screen clean mode, here is the language stuff and units. Schedule, you can schedule preconditioning and charging. Safety, center mode is amazing. You can basically make your car a surveillance camera. Service, here you have a ton of different things that are very, very cool. You can actually access a battery health test. You can do wiper service mode, which puts the wipers up so that you can change the wipers. You can also do this in the winter so that when you activate preconditioning, it melts the wipers. That's a pro tip for you. You have maintenance, towing. You can tow the car, of course, when it breaks down. Updates, and you have the VIN number and additional vehicle information. This is very important to look at if you're buying a used car, because you have fully self-driving computer 4, which is the newest one. You have 16 gigs of RAM and you have the AMD Ryzen chip. Navigation, yeah, and trip, that's your trip meter, and you have Wi-Fi and you have a Bluetooth connectivity so that you can connect to your phone. Here on the main screen you have a ton of different apps which are available, and if you want you can just place everything the way you want. So you can have your defroster here, which is very important to have in Norway when you're driving through tunnels, especially when it's raining or bad weather. Important to have it quickly available, and that you can activate it for your safety sake, because you need to actually, oh come on, I need to turn off the climate again, because you need to defog the windscreen, of course. Here are all the apps. I don't know what more to say about the infotainment here. It's awesome, it's fast, it's responsive. You can change where you want your music, for example, or I don't know, if you have cameras up here, you can move the cameras and you can just pull it down like this, and you can customize way more than in Model 3 and Model Y. And I think Model 3 and Y needs this customization more than the Model S, because in the Model S you have this gauge cluster or speedometer screen here with all the additional information. So I hope this comes to the Model 3 and Y as well. The center console here is interesting because you have an included kind of compartment here that slides forward and backwards, and you have a ton of space inside here. You have the cup holders that you can slide like this, and you can slide everything close like this. You have a ton of space inside here. Let's see, do we have USB ports? Yeah, 2 USB-C ports there. And you have the emergency button here, and you have emergency gearing here. So you can gear here if you are... you have a black screen, but still if you have a black screen it should be available to gear on the side here. If it's not, you can press the car into drive here. Yeah, it says that I should use the touchscreen, so I guess if this one is black you can use this one to gear. Anyways, that was it for the cockpit. I think you have these ones which you can extend and you can pull them all the way back there. It's not like the Model X where it's placed on the windscreen. You actually have this pillar here. You have a cabin monitoring camera, which is great for dog mode. You can actually look at your dog from the app while you are parked with dog mode. Something I also want to mention is actually dog mode, how you enable it like this, and you just leave the car and you get dog mode. You have biohazard mode because you have actually a giant HEPA filter in this car, which is amazing for like driving through areas where you have a lot of pollution, or if there are forest fires, you can enable biohazard mode and it'll create a positive pressure inside the car with this filter to actually make it safe for everyone involved in the car, which is absolutely a great feature. Let's jump to the rear seats. I can also show you the door handles there. They pop out and they are electronically operated so that you pull the door and it pulls the door out of the lock. Here are the rear door cards. A little bit of actually, oh, okay, it's just dirt. No worries, you have this beautiful wooden material and you have the chrome piece here that I'm not really sure about yet. It's soft here, it's soft here, it's soft here. This is also soft, it's soft inside here. And here you have the speaker grill and here you have the same kind of textured material. You have carpets all the way here and you have soft touch even down here. And here is the wooden materials. Well, let's jump in beside, let's jump in here. Let's not close the door completely. And you have a light here. You have a hook here. You have a speaker here. The sound system is amazing in this car. It's absolutely insane. I love the sound system. You have a ton of legroom here. You don't have that much from like the seat cushion down here, but it's still very, very comfortable and it feels so spacious inside here. It feels like a much wider car than the Model 3. Just to compare, you have a screen here with all different settings for the climate, and you can also use apps. Clean screen, of course. You can use YouTube, Netflix, Twitch, or Tesla tutorials if you want to learn about the car. You have a light down here, which is a luxury feature, I guess. You have USB-C ports. I think those are 60 watts. You have ISOFIX here and you have ISOFIX here for child seats in the rear. Do you have ISOFIX in the front? I don't think so. What else is there to say about this? It just feels so spacious inside here. And you have this dark Alcantara headliner that goes all the way down here. It goes down here. There's no hard plastics anywhere in this car. I love the interior, actually. I think there were some... It isn't the best like sounding material, like you can hear here. There are squeaks and rattles in this car. It's not the best put together car. A lot of people say that the Palladium cars are not that well put together, and I think I kind of agree. The seats are perforated but not cooled in the rear. What else is there to say? Of course, seatbelt things. And you have this, yeah, you have a ton of space in this car. Ton of space. And you sit pretty comfortable here. And this is how you would like look out. And you can look out of the awesome panoramic sunroof. Here are the front driver's seat, how it looks. And yeah, just a great place to be, really. And I think Tesla has really stepped up their game when it comes to interiors, but still, like I mentioned, lacking some places, a little bit of squeaks and rattles. Not everything is lining up in all cases, and I think Tesla still needs to work on that. Let's pop out the door handles. So the motor is pretty quick and it sounds good, but these are prone to failure. I hope they have fixed it with this new one, but the old one was very prone to failure. And actually something that I did notice on this car is that it's got some marks from going in and out here, right here I think. I don't know if it's visible on camera. Anyways, these door handles don't inspire the best confidence, to be completely honest, but I hope they are much improved than earlier. I think that was it for my full in-depth tour of the Model S, just the Model S, the new Palladium version. And it's not really new anymore, and it has been in the US even longer than it has been in Europe or Norway here. Anyways, I think this is an amazing looking car. It has amazing features. The interior quality is good, but not amazing. It feels more unreliable, kinda, I don't know, than for example a Model 3. It's a much more advanced car. But to be honest, it just looks so insanely great. It just feels great to sit inside. It feels amazing to drive. It's so quick. You don't need the Plaid, but of course, if the Plaid is almost the same price, you would rather go for 1,000 horsepower, of course. I can understand that. And yeah, I just want to say that the sound system is, it's really, really great in this car. It just sounds amazing. Thank you so much for watching Roaming Norway. If you are buying a Tesla, I would recommend actually using my referral link, tesla.roamingnorway.com. If you don't have any other referrals available, I would really appreciate it if you used it. It helps me out a bunch. Tons of new car content coming on this channel very, very soon. We have bought a new car as well, which is not this one, unfortunately, but I will show you very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching Roaming Norway. After testing multiple winter floor liners, these are the absolute easiest to keep clean. Go to joa.roamingnorway.com for a 5% discount on Joa products, including these great all-weather floor liners.